What's going on, guys? How you doing? Um, well, we're back, ready to do some Premier League reviews, some red bearded reviews. So I've got the Arsenal versus Leicester game going right here. It's My voice right now is kind of dead. I'm starting to get a little bit sick. Plus, there was lots of screaming over the weekend with my birthday, plus the Phoenix Rising match, plus the Manchester United game. Like, there's just lots and lots of screaming. But didn't do too hot on my picks, guys. What's up, Mr. Exclusive, Agnostic Buddhist, and AFAF, guys? How you doing? Hope you guys are all doing good. Happy to see some people in here already. That made me really happy. But yeah, so didn't do too hot on my picks, guys. What's up, Daniel? How you doing? But so obviously I missed on the Chelsea Manchester United match. We already kind of discussed that in a separate video. But let's be real here. We deserve to be the ones that won 2-1. we deserved to win that game 2-1, but our defense let us down. It's unfortunate that we went 2-2, but I did say that we would. I did hope that we got a 2-2, or a 2-2, like a 1-1 or a draw or anything like that. So I mean, at least we pulled out the draw, and like we talked about, because I am this first, I'm happy that we got the draw. I mean, Agnostic, you might be right. We might have lost that match, morally, but we just. It's a tough one. And it's exactly right, Dan. Like, if I would have taken the draw before the game, but knowing how the game wound up, that's where it was rough. That we had the chance to win. But anyways, moving on. So the game that I thought that would be a high-scoring game in Bournemouth and Southampton, and 0-0. What the hell? Who would have guessed it? A Bournemouth team and Southampton team would have ended 0-0. So that game wasn't on like normal television here. I did have it on NBC Sports Gold, but I just chose to watch the matches that were on the television. So just from looking at the highlights of the game, it looked like both teams missed on their chances, like really bad. They missed on their chances. And that's difficult. Like to say that, like I said, Bournemouth has been just absolutely like killing it this year with just scoring. So yeah, and exactly, Dan. I mean, I thought Bournemouth was going to win that, but I really thought that it was going to be like a 3-2 kind of game. And I know that was my predicted score, but if that had the feels of a high scoring game. Because both teams just, I mean, they did go at each other. In fairness, they did go at each other. And from the highlights I saw, both teams had real great scoring chances. So that was crazy. It was crazy to see that the game ended 0-0. So then next up we had. Exactly, Agnostic. Bournemouth probably should have won from what I saw. Bournemouth did have the better overall chances, and especially in the first half, they had the way better chances. So they should have buried those chances. But so next up, we have Cardiff against Fulham, which I had ending as a 1-2 for Fulham with Ryan Sessegnon scoring his first goal. I did get that right. Ryan Sessegnon did score his first goal, but I mean, Cardiff winning that game 4-2 was really surprising. I don't know about how you guys feel. I didn't expect Cardiff to beat Fulham in this game. So, I mean, and ending 4-2 and going back and watching the goals, I mean, Cardiff did get a couple of their goals were kind of lucky, but the two of them were definitely very worthy goals. So, I mean, but Fulham definitely went out there. Yeah, I appreciate that, Agnostic. I'm hoping that the channel can keep growing, man. If you guys, I mean, I know I'm shouting it out early, but please like, share, and subscribe. I'm trying to bring all sports to all people. and just if that way, if you're only a Premier League fan right now, I want to try and hopefully make you an NFL fan, try and hopefully make you an NBA fan, try and make you a fan of other sports leagues. And actually something I'm going to be doing is I am going to be doing MLS coverage of the playoffs. So I feel like that is something that you guys can then have brought to you to kind of know what's going on in the leagues. I'm really hoping that LA Galaxy can make it in, so that way we can have both Zlatan and Wayne Rooney on either side of the playoff bracket. And let's hope that they can maybe meet in that championship. That'd be kind of crazy. And you know what, Tommy? That's a great point. I mean, Fulham and Wolves are unpredictable right now because they are just coming up. They're building in the Premier League, and I do think that both Fulham and Wolves are here to stay for a bit. Personally, I think that they're both here to stay for a bit. You can see the talent that they have. It's just about learning the Premier League and seeing how it goes. And Dan, so I will do my best to teach you guys about NBA. That's going to be a little bit more difficult to cover because there are so many teams and games literally happen all week. So I figure that once a week I'll do an NBA roundup. I'll cover the Phoenix Suns first because that is my team. But then after that, go through and see what happens. My polarizer this year. Agnostic, I don't think so. Agnostic asked, do I think that Wolves might be able to pull a Leicester this year? I don't think that they'll win the league by any means, but do I think that they could put in a really great season? Absolutely. I think they could put in a really great season. Wolves and Dan, exactly. Wolves have a really bright future. Really bright future. But yeah, so Cardiff and Fulham, that game ending 4-2. I mean, it was a bit of a surprise. I mean, I think most of you would probably agree that was a bit of a surprise that it ended 4-2 to Cardiff. I don't think that I think Cardiff will probably be relegated this year. Just taking an early guess from what I've seen. But, they went out and they handled their business at home, and that's what you got to do, especially when you're playing mid to lower table sides right now. As a low table side, you got to handle your business at home and hope to not lose too many on the road. But I'm hoping that Ryan Sessegnon, because I actually started watching some of the championship games towards the end of the year to try and watch Ryan Sessegnon as his hype grew, and there was a lot of people talking about that they wanted him to be brought to bigger teams here in the Prem. So I'm going to be interested to see how he grows with Fulham this year. And it could be fun. It could be really, really fun to watch Fulham. But so next up we have Manchester City and Burnley, which that pretty much ended exactly how I thought. Manchester City winning 5-0. I know I said 3-0, but man, 5-0 doesn't surprise me at all. Surely's been good for Fulham. Yeah, no, that you're absolutely right, Tommy. That Fulham have had a few different players that have really stepped up for them really well. And if Ryan Sessegnon can continue to build his talent in the Premier League, and a lot of people are going to forget he is a baby. He is. I don't even think he's turned 19 yet. He's a baby, and so if he continues to grow, there's no way that a top team in the world isn't going to pick him up eventually. He will wind up having to move because he'll get paid more money, he'll get better endorsement deals, and it'll just be better for his career in general. So I'll be interested to see where he goes next if he continues to build his career while at Fulham. But yeah, so 5-0 for Manchester City. Not even a surprise. I'm not even gonna. So well, I'll get to that in a second, Agnostic. But so I mean, I don't think anybody was surprised by that result, and honestly, it's not even really worth talking about, other than the Fernandinho goal, which was a banger of a goal. He put that in for. He put that in from a ways out. Hey, Marcel, how you doing? Yeah, he put that goal in from a ways out. So that was a hell of a shot. I don't like complimenting any other team other than Manchester United, but when you see a great goal, you have to acknowledge it. And Fernandinho put in a hell of a goal. But But so agnostic, really quick before I move on to Newcastle against Brighton. So have you ever considered United being relegated? Because you never know. Honestly, I don't think that United will ever be relegated unless just the absolute unthinkable happens. I mean, we would have to lose so much talent. We would have to, because I even think that if you were to put out like our reserve team, we would still probably do okay and do well enough to not get relegated. We have a hell of a squad down in the reserve team right now. So I don't think that could ever happen personally. Jose staying at the club is about to be sold to criminals. Oof. Yeah, no, AF. If you guys get the chance, so I'm actually involved in another YouTube channel as well called We Are the Busby Boys. If you look at them on Twitter, it's at WAT Busby Boys. It's you can really hear more about me and my buddy Tyler. We talk about what's going on. Like week to week, and we're going to talk about a lot of different things. We'll answer questions and stuff like that. And we do live videos there too. I think we're going to do them once a week. So you guys should really subscribe over there too. It's We Are the, which is all one word, and then Busby Boys, which is one word. So separate those two and enter those in together. Then you'll find it, and you'll actually see the picture of me with the beard and everything like that. It'll pop up. But we had a really great discussion about the Saudi owners and them potentially coming to take over. And like I said, as long as it's proven that they aren't involved in the murder of that journalist, and they come in and they let this run free, that's all I care about at the end of the day. I don't care who the owners are. So Dan, it's not a podcast. It's an actual YouTube channel on here. So you can find it, and I'll share it again. But yeah, real quick. So here in Europe, we know nothing about the NFL. You have to agnostic. So I'm going to do everything I can to teach you guys about all sports, and I'll try and for my next preview or my next review, I'll do one of them live, and if you guys have any questions about the NFL, I'm happy to answer any questions you guys will have. So next up with Newcastle and Brighton, which I had Newcastle winning the game 2-1. Newcastle missed on some massive chances, absolutely massive chances. And Marcel, I'll answer that question in a second. But you talk about in Newcastle. Because once again, that's another game. So the games that were on TV here, we had the Tottenham game against West Ham on TV. We obviously had Manchester United against Chelsea, and then we had Liverpool against Huddersfield. Those were the three games that were on TV on Saturday. So it's going back and watching the highlights from the Newcastle and Brighton game. Newcastle should have put in at least 3, maybe 4 goals in that game. But they missed their chances, and they lost. And right now, I think that Newcastle are looking at the possibility, if they can't start finishing those chances, they're going to get relegated. They will, because Brighton's a team that in Newcastle historically should be beating. And just right now, they're not doing it. Oh, Leicester just missed a chance there. Oh, man, that was close. Still 1-1 in the Arsenal-Leicester game, guys, just so you know. But, yeah, so, Newcastle really bottled it. They should have won that game, and they should have won it easy. But I think Newcastle right now, if they continue on their form, they're going down. And it's been echoed by Agnostic, it's been echoed by Daniel, and it's been echoed by Tommy. Let me tell you what, guys, it looks likely that Newcastle's going to go down, which makes me a little sad because I do like Newcastle a little bit. Like, obviously, it's not my club. They're not my team. I don't care at the end of the day. But we all have teams we kind of have that, like, sympathy for. And it's just – I have some sympathy for Newcastle because they are a team that even when they go down, even when they went down, for us in America, I think that if you were to institute a promotion relegation into like the MLS or something like that, I think that we would ultimately see teams lose fans because we're very bandwagon here in the United States. And I'm full on admit that. But for me, I'm not that kind of person. I would follow my team till the end of the earth. So it's like it's cool to see that. And I was talking with a guy from England that works security at one of the places that I worked at. He was a Newcastle fan, and we talked about the Premier League and just about he talked about how Newcastle were still just big time for like in terms of like their fan base, even being in the championship, which that's amazing. So I have a lot of respect for Newcastle. So it's sad that they lost, but you know what? End of the day, it's their fault. You got to put away your chances, which is exactly what United are struggling with right now, is putting away our chances. So, except for Martial, my boy, it's who's on the back of this one right now, just as the number 9. But just so you guys know, real quick, we're in the 60th minute of the Arsenal game, and it's still 1-1. Anyways, so Marcel asked me a question. Who do I think will win the league this year? I'm going to go with Manchester City repeating. I mean, you look at Manchester City inside of the Champions League. I don't think that they're going to do anything in the Champions League because they don't ever do anything in the Champions League. So I think that they'll focus on the league. I think that they'll win the league. I certainly hope Liverpool doesn't win it. That'll hurt me. But they definitely have a chance, and Chelsea also definitely do have a chance. Which that's who Marcel has winning it. Tommy, you know what? I think that I will do a quick I'll do a pre-recorded preview for the Juve versus Manchester United game. I'll put that out here as quick, like basically right after this. I'll start recording it. And just have to do a little bit of research. I always like to do a little bit of research. Anyways, guys, so we're going to move on to the next game, which is West Ham at Spurs. And I had Spurs winning the game 3-1, but the game was 1-0. West Ham had some great chances in this game. So did Spurs. Spurs deserved to win it, and Spurs handled their business against West Ham, which is something that Manchester United didn't do. So end of the day, if you handle your business against teams, that's exactly what we need to do. And that's exactly what Spurs did. So handle their business. They went into West Ham and they won 1-0, and that's exactly. And Dan, I was about to say that. Lloris made some amazing saves in that game. He made some amazing saves in that game and proved why he's one of the top keepers in the Prem. So, like I said, Spurs handled their business. They went 1-0, and end of the day, that's what you got to do against the lower teams. So next up, we had Wolves at Watford. Wolves and Watford. So Wolves, I had them winning 2-0, and ironically enough, it went the other way 2-0. Watford scored that first goal. I think that was a little lucky. He definitely put in a hell of a shot, but not even a minute later, they went in there and they scored that second goal, and that second goal was a really good goal. So. Wolves missed their chances too. Another game where missed chances cost the team. And Watford went in and they handled their chances and they killed it. They did what they were supposed to do, and they got the 3 points at the end of the day. But Wolves probably should have been just as much in that game. Oh, tap in for Arsenal. Aubameyang scored it. So right now, score is 2-1. Aubameyang just scored. We're in the 63rd minute. So damn, that was. You had a guy come down the right-hand side. I'm trying to see right now who it was that came down the right-hand side. So let's see, through the middle. It looks like Ozil put in a pass down the right to Bellerin. Yeah, it was Bellerin. Ozil put in a pass to Bellerin down the right-hand side. Bellerin puts it across goal, and Aubameyang taps it in. That was simple as. Great play by Arsenal all around. It's what they should be beating Leicester end of the day, but Leicester's playing up to their competition right now, and I don't feel that Leicester deserve to be 2-1 down right now in this game. But anyway, so the Watford. So agnostic Buddhist. real quick. He said Watford also have a pretty bright future ahead of them, and I mean Watford have been looking really good. They really have. So I think that I think that Watford and Wolves are both have a pretty decent future. I think they'll always hang around inside of that, top half of the league for a while here. They both seem to have owners that care enough to keep the team in the top half, and that's good for them. So the Liverpool and Huddersfield game, it actually went pretty much exactly how I thought. I thought that end of the day that Liverpool were going to play it was going to be a tight game. They won 1-0. And Huddersfield missed some amazing chances in this game. They missed on a couple of set pieces, and they missed on a couple different shots too. In all reality, that probably should have been a draw game, if not Huddersfield winning. And Agnostic, you're exactly right. The Salah goal was pretty lucky, but he put away his chance. And Huddersfield had their chances, just like Dan said. And they ultimately, you got to put away your chances when you're playing the top teams in the league and you're one of the bottom. So Huddersfield screwed it. They screwed themselves. You got to put away those chances. So real quick, because I think the only other game left is Everton and Crystal Palace. So I'll answer Marcel's question here. Marcel asked, beside the subject, could you see Wolves gaining Europa League football next season? Oh, hold on. Sorry, I missed another goal, guys. Arsenal are up 3-1. It looks like I can't tell if it was Ozil or Aubameyang that just scored. And Peter Schmeichel is upset about something. Or Peter Schmeichel. Sorry about that. Kasper Schmeichel. So real quick, let's do this. So ball through the middle. Once again, it went down that right-hand side. Bellerin, Ozil stepped over to Lacazette. Ozil, oh man, that was a pretty goal. That was a really pretty goal. So Ozil let the ball go through his legs to Lacazette. Lacazette played the ball back into Aubameyang. Lacazette played the ball back into Ozil. Ozil played the ball back across to Aubameyang. Beautiful, beautiful goal. Absolutely beautiful goal. Man, the Arsenal right now are taking it to Leicester. Absolutely taking it to them. And you're, like AF just said, Arsenal are playing great right now. They're playing amazing. So, anyways, we'll move on to the Everton game, and then we'll probably wrap it up because it looks like the Arsenal game is going to end with Arsenal winning. And Dan, that's pretty good. Predicting the 3-1. I thought this game, because Leicester does play up to their competition, I thought that this game was going to end 2-2. But Arsenal are playing great, and they're handling their business against a team that they should be beating at the end of the day. So Everton against Crystal Palace, I did actually watch all of this game. So honestly, the first half was a bore fest. Really wasn't much to talk about. In fact, there really isn't anything to talk about in the first half. And honestly, for most of the second half, there really wasn't much to talk about. But Pickford did make some good saves. I did see somebody say that. Pickford made some good saves. But I said in my Red Bearded preview for Week 9 to watch out for Gylfi Sigurdsson. And Gylfi Sigurdsson did have a pretty dang good game. He didn't ultimately score a goal, but he did look really good in this game. And he was the danger man almost all game. So they ultimately Everton beat a team they should have beat in Crystal Palace. And they put in goals, the two goals late, which that's got to be frustrating for Crystal Palace. I think that if I remember correctly, I'm going to pop into the stats here. So I was going to say, I think that the first goal went in the 86th minute, but it was the 87th minute. So first goal went in the 87th minute, and then the next goal came 2 minutes later. So ultimately, Everton, they did it real quick at the end. And honestly, Everton were the overall better team throughout the game, even though neither team really looked great. And sorry, Agnostic Buddhist just gave me something that made me laugh pretty good. But Everton won the game, and that's who should have won the game at the end of the day, even though I had a draw happening in that game at 1-1. So Agnostic Buddhist asked me thoughts on Fellaini being a center back. Well, I mean, he's basically been playing there all season, so you tell me. You tell me. So real quick, I'll interact with you guys for a little bit here before I sign off. So somebody said Andre Gomez was a huge weak link for Everton. And you were right in that, Tommy. Andre Gomez was pretty rough. Damn it, Dan. So Dan gave me Fellaini and Joe center back partnership. Don't scare me like that. Don't scare me. Let's see here. So then Daniel also said Everton are a very good side, but they lack a top striker. Honestly, funny enough, I actually feel like if Lukaku was to go back to Everton, I think he would actually fit in pretty well into that side. Now, I talked about it in my game in the commentary I did with the We Are the Busby Boys, that I feel like Lukaku right now has been asked to put on too much weight. Because I honestly think that he's been asked to put on the weight that he's put on. Because I don't know how many of you saw it on Twitter this week, but there was a picture that came out where he signed for Everton, and you could just see the difference in just his shoulder size. I mean, I'm a pretty wide guy, but his shoulders were probably like in here, and now it's like his shoulders are about where mine are. Like Lukaku's become a very wide body, and it makes me wonder what he's being asked to do. For us. I feel like Lukaku needs a rest and a new diet right now. Send him off on holiday for a few weeks, and let's play Sanchez or Rashford through the middle. Let them go at it. And Agnostic Buddhist, I really appreciate that, man. I love sports, guys. I said it in my preview, but I love sports. And this is my passion. And that's why I want to hopefully have this channel grow, because I would love to maybe one day make some money from it, and love to make money from talking sports, because that's what I do. Even when I'm away from talking with you guys, I mean, I talk sports with everybody. I love sports, and it's my passion. So I hope you guys enjoy the content. Real quick, so I'll read off Dan's comment here. He's a lot bigger now, but like Memphis, he put too much weight on, and ultimately, I think that's true. I think that Lukaku really does look like he needs to lose about 20 pounds, and maybe not be hitting the weight so much, because right now Lukaku looks like an NFL linebacker. He really does, and that's not what you need for a striker. You need somebody. I mean, even if he was a little bit bigger, I don't mind him being in like that 210 range, 215 range. If he wants to be a big body striker that still has pace, because even inside of so Agnostic Buddhist, a linebacker in the NFL is somebody that plays in the middle of the defense, and they are a little bit bigger people. They're typically between 6'1" and 6'4", and they weigh between 225 and 255, somewhere in there. So, and they're faster. They're not the fastest people on the field, but they are faster. And so that's the best way to put it. And so that way you can understand. But yeah, Agnostic Buddhist, just so you know, there's people in the NFL. Like, so if you want to look up somebody, I know we're talking Premier League right now, but if you want to look up somebody that'll scare the crap out of you, look up Aaron Donald. That's Aaron, and then Donald's exactly how it sounds. Look up Aaron Donald. He's 6'1", 300 pounds. That's a mountain of a man. That's it. He is exactly like that, Agnostic. Yeah, that is a mountain of a man. Just a scary, scary person. And he's a defensive lineman, and that's a scary human being. Scary human being. But anyways, guys, so I'm going to sign off here. I'm going to do a little bit of prep work for my preview for Agnostic. You just saw the picture, right? That's a scary human being. Like, could you imagine that man landing on top of you? That's what happens all the time is he winds up landing on top of people. That's a scary human being. But I'm going to sign off, guys. I'm going to do my prep work for the Juventus versus Manchester United match. That video will probably be out later tonight in Arizona. I'm going to guess it'll probably be out in about 3 hours or so because it does take a little bit for these videos to upload to YouTube for some reason. I don't know why. But, I'll have my preview out to you guys as soon as possible. Again, thank you guys so much for joining. Again, like, share, subscribe. If you like my content, please share it. I'm hoping to maybe one day, make this into something. But for now, I'm just happy to talk to you guys about sports. And if that's all it ever winds up being, I'm happy to just talk to you guys about sports and just bring my passion to you guys. So thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys joining. And, God bless you. And let's just say it for Manchester United. Let's go tomorrow. Let's go. Love you guys.